just gonna jump right in, huh? No.
Yeah, let's get in.
What's the topic? Shit, bro.
Okay,
What's the topic again?
so like I was deliberating on what we can talk about, but like so that
Mm-hmm.
it's not a long video, I thought maybe we can do like a ranking video of like um
I
previ-
bet.
previous DCEU films.
Alright, nice. We can
Yeah.
do that.
So I think it wouldn't take like a long time. So like you'd state your opinion
Yeah, that's
and
fine.
where you'd rank them.
Mm.
So should we just get into it?
I should write them down. Like, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, sure. I mean,
Okay.
you're the one who's basically gonna be asking me, and I'll be like, oh shit. So yeah, okay, let's
Okay,
go.
so according to like fucking Google, there's like 15 DCU films out, I think. Aquaman is coming
Okay.
out in December. Are you gonna see Aquaman?
I mean, I have to at this point. I kind of have to. Shit, some of these I haven't even seen. Let's see. There's Wonder Woman. That hasn't come out yet, has it? Or it has?
Part two. It's already out.
Not part two. The 84. Isn't
Yeah,
that part three?
that's part two. No, there's not gonna be a
Yeah,
part three.
that's part two.
Yeah,
No fucking way. So there was Wonder Woman, the very first one, right?
yeah,
Then there was Wonder Woman with the Chitara motherfucker. Wasn't that
yeah,
part two?
yeah. That's 84.
Yay! The 84 is part three. In my
Nah,
mind, that's what it is. Unless they revamped the motherfucker.
nah, bro. That's part two.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Man, DCU and their changes and their like motherfucking what?
What else have you seen?
Narcos. The guy who was just there like no, I'm still trying to like figure out something like what's this thing? When we had that guy who was basically like saying that's good, but it can be better.
Yeah,
Where he was
yeah.
basically doing wishes.
That's
What
Wonder
part was
Woman
that?
84, bro. You've seen it.
What part was that?
That's part two.
No ways. What? Oh shit. Okay, I watched. Okay, I did. I watched that one. I watched Shazam. I haven't watched Black Adam.
You haven't
I
watched
haven't
Black Adam?
watched Peacemaker. It's on my list. Everybody
What?
watched the PVS. Suicide Squad. The first one I've watched. The second one I haven't.
Okay.
The second Shazam I haven't watched. Man of Steel obviously I watched. So some
Okay.
of these I don't know, and some of these I know.
I think like 4 or 5 you haven't seen, huh? What about
Yeah, like
Birds of Prey? Have you
at
seen
least
it?
know at least 3/4 of everything. But I think yeah, and I think me jumping into this one, if we're really doing DC, I could talk about what I expect from the movie, not necessarily what I know from the movie. That's as best as I can give you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Like what you expect in terms of like from what you've heard
Mhm.
about the film.
What I've heard, what I've watched from the previous film, because some of these are part twos,
Yeah.
and yeah, general vibe of like the arc of where DCU is going and what it is that they could probably bring to the universe with a particular film with whatever thematics. Yeah.
Um, do you know that they're
Okay.
actually
Huh?
rebooting this item?
The entire motherfucker.
They're starting over the whole universe, bro.
Because if they do that, then like, what's the fucking point of us talking about? Like, bruh, like, why are we talking about this?
Oh,
Bruh,
legit. Like
it's so trash.
James Gunn, the guy who directed The Guardians, has been put as like the creative head of
Hmm.
the DC universe now.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, that guy.
I don't know, man.
What?
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't believe? You don't trust in him?
Cause like, see, hear me out. Hear me out. Yeah. When he did Thor Ragnarok, right?
Yeah.
That got everybody to come.
What?
And
Wait.
everybody understands why that got everybody to come. It was the
Huh?
perfect splice between we're trying to move the dialogue. I mean, sorry, we're trying to move the arc of what Thor is about, but at
Yeah,
the same time, we're taking a comic relief that was necessary and wasn't like involved in the previous movies.
yeah.
Coolies, but like when we got to Love and Thunder, he went too heavy
No, no,
on
no,
the
no.
comedic relief,
Not
and
that
he kind of
guy. Not that guy.
I feel like, oh, okay.
The Guardians guy. Guardians 1, 2, and 3.
Why am I thinking Thor instead of Guardians of the Galaxy? My bad. Shit. Okay. I could believe him. I could believe him. I
Ye-
actually watched Guardians Part 3. I liked it. I liked it. So
Bro, did it
I could
slap?
believe him. The question is, it was hard, but it was not like all the way crazy hard. Do you know what I mean?
Uh
It
huh.
was like if Ant-Man was good. You know what I mean?
Oh, nice.
Like, there's you see where I'm coming from. Yeah, if Ant-Man was good, then that would be nice. Because I loved how they really went into Rocket's story. I
Yeah.
knew from like maybe a little bit from the comics and like from TV shows that hey, this nigga's dope. Like you don't even need to look at his backstory. He's just dope on his own. And
Facts,
then we really
facts.
got into like why that's the case. Yeah, and so like I really enjoyed I was just saying seeing it from his eyes, but the thematics of part three was not too different from part two. It was all about family. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
And bruh, we don't need. It's starting to smell a lot like Fast and the Furious, but Marvel. You know what I mean? Like everything's about family. You know what I mean? It's all about family, and there's literally no other reason why we're doing this. So yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy was like, okay,
But
I can vibe with this heavy. I love how you really like continue to world build
yeah,
and how like Earth has such like a pivotal cultural role in the world at large, but at the
yeah.
same time it's like insignificant. That's kind of like a crazy paradox,
He
and I like that.
they
But
actually put him
yeah, like
on.
it wasn't jumping my
They actually
huh?
put him on creative head of like the DC. They're rebooting the entire franchise, and he's doing
Okay.
the first movie in his lineup. The second movie in his lineup is Superman, and he's directing it.
Okay, so what's the
So what they did is they took Blue Beetle. I don't know if you've seen Blue Beetle.
okay. I haven't yet. I haven't.
Yeah. So what they did, I think Blue Beetle was part of like the old DCEU franchise, the movies that have already been out. So what they did is they took it
Okay.
because relatively when they changed James Gunn into like the creative head, basically Blue Beetle
Mm-hmm.
was already out. So they were like, we can make this the first film in
Okay.
our franchise. So Blue Beetle
Okay.
is gonna be first, and
I
then
haven't.
there's gonna be like a couple animated movies, and then Superman in 2025 or six.
Shit. So they're starting afresh. They're afresh. You know when they
Yeah.
put animated films, they're like, we're finished. We're done. That's crazy.
Hey,
Okay. Okay. I I haven't seen the Blue Beetle movie, but like in my mind, I wasn't really expecting too much from it because I know the
huh?
story. I mean, we're talking about I don't know if they're called scribes or scribes. The
Yeah,
name of the Beatles, I forget. They're basically they're like how do I explain this? The people from Invincible. What the
yeah.
motherfuckers called?
Viltrumites.
What are they called though? You're saying yeah. Yeah, Viltrumite motherfuckers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like Viltrumites, but like fused in with symbiotes from Spider-Man. That's how I see them right now.
Oh, right.
And these Viltrumite symbiotes, they go around and they're like fucking up the galaxies and whatever, you know. And at first they start out as heroes, and
Huh.
then they fuck shit up, and then they continue like that whole
Actually,
panspermia
dog.
type of shit. I get that. Uh huh.
Yeah, like actually, like I'm agreeing with you. Actually, I see what you mean.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, yeah, that's basically their storyline when it comes to the source of his powers. And then I'm taking a lot from Young Justice. That's where most of my system, my information is coming from. But like in Young Justice, we're talking about this Mexican kind of guy, and I like how they kind of like introduce their culture. And in fact, through
Yeah,
him, they introduce other people um, from different ethnic backgrounds, not your typical black or white,
yeah.
because those are just the mainstream culture: black, white, and Indian. It's actually changed. Actually, no, it's now black, white, and Asian. Asians are really like taking over the industry
Uh
in a
huh.
lot of ways. I don't know if Indians are like all the way at the top dog, or at least Orientals are like, I don't even know if that's correct. I feel like that's racist to say Orientals. Shit. Um, yeah, like they're really taking the industry like that. So in my mind, Blue Beetle was more like, okay, we'll take the panspermia concept and we're going to flesh out our different ethnic minorities.
Yeah.
But as a character, personally, I I don't know if he's bringing a lot to the table. So I don't know what kind of theme they will choose for him. I don't know what he
The
brings to the universe
the
in terms of
the film
fleshing it out.
itself is
Yeah.
actually like okay. I saw it and it's okay.
Okay. Yeah. What is it about? Is it like along what I was talking about, or
Um, basically, I think obviously like if you're from that background, you're gonna relate more to it compared to like everybody else. But story wise, it's kind of like run of the mill
okay?
origin story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So it's like, oh hey, I'm just a regular guy. I got problems just like everybody else. Oh
Yeah.
shit, something terrible is happening to me. Oh, maybe I can take advantage of it. Then all of a sudden, okay,
Yeah.
I gotta fight some
Exactly.
bad guys and realize myself.
Exactly.
Basically, ah, that's
Okay.
the problem
So
with origin stories, though. Like like in my mind, they really did something beautiful with Joker. Everybody's gonna say it, and I'm gonna continue to say it because it was an origin story. Well, I mean, like facts, like it was so done well. Like it was
yeah.
not just an origin story. Everybody knows who the fuck Joker is.
Yeah.
It was an origin story with a theme. It had a message, and it had like an arc, and it really set the tone for something larger than itself. Like you could
Mm-hmm.
literally never show Joker's face ever again in the entire of the MCU,
Mm.
but he will still have such a pivotal role in that universe because people will realize that okay, this is the kind of mind frame of people at least in Gotham City, you
Exactly.
know,
Yeah.
and you can even just use him as like a reference in other movies and then use that as like a narrative device or like a plot device that will
Yeah.
have people understand to say, hey, this is the kind of severity that you can have in, let's say, Gotham City. And then
Yeah.
maybe Metropolis is a lot more easier because it's safer,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe it's a lot more affluent because maybe like the segregation is not as intense, but they have their own problems. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
It's not as
And
dark
then Superman
as
faced
Gotham.
those exactly. You know, like they should have used Gotham as like the township, you know, like the middle of Soweto, you know what I mean?
Bro said
Like
Soweto. Are
hard things, hard, my nigga, and you know, and it actually really paints a beautiful picture because if you look at like I don't know if like your audience is going to be into it heavy, but what's this thing? If you look at like South African media, for example, South
huh?
African media does a really good. At least maybe I'm taking from what's this show called again? The one with Connie. Damn, I can't believe I forgot it. I don't know if it was Queen something. I forget. But
Yeah.
obviously, it's your run of the mill drug show, and
Yeah.
they do a very good job of showing like the depths of poverty and like the heights of affluence,
Okay.
and how the world of South Africa is interesting because those two worlds are so close together. You know what I mean? When you watch something like yeah, no, truly, like if you watch something like Narcos and you watch something like Ozarks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You start from a place of abject poverty. You know, you're in the middle of Colombia or you're like in the Indies of Midwest America. Like,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of money to go around, and you really want to get out of it. Same thing with Snowfall. It's like, oh, hey, I am in abject poverty. I'm a black person, you know,
Yeah.
and then you have to work through the ranks, and then they get into like a whole different environment where it's like, oh, hey, I have a lot of money now. I'm in a whole different world. I made it, mama. You know what I mean?
Huh.
But like South Africa, it's like you're in that affluent world, and if you look over the fence, you're gonna see people in like serious
True.
poverty,
True. True.
and they did a good job at that. And I felt like Joker, in a sense, kind of. painted a good framework for that to say, let's world build the DC universe. We all know who these characters are. We know who Superman is. We know he represents hope. We know who Batman is. We know all these motherfuckers. Really, you should start using them as narrative tools. I don't know what's your take.
No, that's I agree with you to the extent that genuinely telling the mental landscape or the mental standing point of like a Gotham citizen wouldn't stray far from
Mm.
reality.
Yeah, exactly. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Okay,
So
so
that reality concept. Uh-huh.
I was gonna say like going back to the item, going back
Mm-hmm.
to the my bad, going back to like the tier list, right? Where what?
Shit, bro. Yeah.
Starting
I
with Man
talk
of
too
Steel.
much. I talk.
Starting with Man of Steel, right? S tier, I believe, is like the gold
Mm-hmm.
standard of that. That's top tier. That's a great film. A tier is second
Mm-hmm.
to S tier, and then B, C, and D. D obviously being the very worst. I believe B is average,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then C maybe not too good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. So where would you place Man of Steel?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say something controversial, my nigga. I'm gonna say A actually.
A.
I'm gonna say yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm gonna say A because I think it speaks to a little bit what we are talking about before with the whole Joker. The thing is, this was the movie that was supposed to set this DCU universe. It was a lot like what Iron Man, or maybe if you are really into it, Incredible Hulk did for MCU. They basically said, "This is what we're trying to do with the story. We are trying
Okay.
to set the tone, and the tone is dark. The tone is philosophical. The scale of the show was already at the worldwide and almost interstellar level, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because if we borrow some understandings from like AOT, for example, AOT is very beautiful for so many reasons, right? But one of the reasons why it excites me the most is that they really got their scaling and world building of the scaling proper. You
Yeah.
start out with just a city level type of thing, and then you grow to like a town, then you grow to a country,
Yeah.
then you go international, and then after that you grow like literally the entire world. You know what I mean? That's what they did, and they did a very good job at it. Like, so Superman comes in and says, "We're already at the interstellar level.
Yeah.
Aliens are real.
But then
Get with that." And then we're talking about,
when most
uh huh.
people come up with like certain problems that they have with the film, they usually say character wise Superman is not genuinely Superman. You know, he doesn't do the typical Superman. He doesn't have the typical Superman attributes.
Hopefully, I actually would have to agree on that one. Like I would, they would have to crucify me if I don't say that they took extreme liberties with like the Superman character. It
Yeah.
was basically Batman in Superman's body. I'm not
Oh
even
shit.
gonna lie. That
Actually.
was basically this.
So
But
why do you
in
think
my
it deserves an
mind,
A tier?
I wanted. That's what I'm trying to say. I think it deserves an A tier because it was it was challenging.
Huh.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's an A tier for a good first film. If they took
Okay.
the Superman, right, then they started like developing it from it in a proper manner, and they stayed true to what they were trying to do there. I would say it was a very good start. As a standalone movie, it's probably less than A tier. That goes without saying.
Okay.
But for what they were trying to achieve, I think they did a pretty good job to start. It's a good starting position.
Okay. I agree with you. I agree. I would also place it in A, generally because divisively. Okay, for me, first time I watched it, I did not relate to it. I expected the more old school Christopher Reeve
Very
Superman of like saving cats out of a tree, helping people. But the more
true.
you
True.
go along the more you watch it, the more you start to realize this guy really crafted the perfect, not perfect, but like a really good starting point as your origin story.
Hmm.
The fight scenes were really
I mean,
energetic. The CGI was really good.
bruh,
The
man's
music
killed a
was on
nigga.
point. Oh
Like,
snap!
bruh, man's killed a nigga. Bruh, he killed Zod. Like, there's no other Superman that's going around killing people. And he did this
Exactly.
in the first fucking film. He's not going around saving cats and trees. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, it really told everybody, okay, we're not here to fuck around here.
this
Death
is
is
not
just a
your typical
concept now.
Superman. Yeah,
We're dealing with real things. Yeah, that's why I was like, it's a really good starting film, and
hmm.
people just hate on it because they had their expectations. And I feel like if they gave them your typical Superman, they'll be bored. They'll be bored
Exactly.
as hell. It's gonna be the same thing as I don't know, like what you said. What's this thing? Black Beetle, a typical origin story about a guy that we already know. You
Yeah.
know?
Okay.
Yeah,
So we both agree A tier is fine.
A tier for sure, my nigga.
A
A tier
tier.
for sure.
Okay. Next is Wonder Woman 84. Where would you place that?
Bruh. Bruh. Damn. I gotta like reach into the archives of my memory. In my mind, yeah, the first Wonder Woman and the second Wonder Woman together were good films.
Okay.
And I
Wait.
think I
Let's
did
start. Let's start
actually
with 84 first. Yeah.
yeah, we're starting with 84. I'm just trying to like give some good reference.
Okay.
84 for me was good not because of Wonder Woman, but because of the antagonist, actually.
Oh, let's
I
go.
think every yeah, no, for sure. Not the Chitara motherfucker. Not that girl. Not
Yeah.
the
The
furry girl.
guy. We're talking about the.
Not her, but the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy for me was really good. Let's fuck it. Let's not even talk about the movie. Let's just talk about the actor. I can't believe I keep forgetting his name. But like, bro, he made me cry when he cried because he was just that good. He could really move characters, and I feel like that's actually what he did when he was like studying the character. He was like,
Yeah.
this is a guy who goes in and he convinces the world to follow him.
Yeah.
He's a soothsayer. He's a silver tongue. He's charismatic, you know.
Yeah.
And man said, shit, I'm gonna have to be this person, not just in the film, but in reality. I have to move the audience just as much as I'm moving the world inside that I'm living in. This
Yeah.
character is living in, and he did such a beautiful job. For
Actually.
that, I would put for that alone, I would say it's an A tier, but I have to unfortunately say it was a B tier because
B
outside
tier.
of that, it didn't bring it didn't bring anything new
Do you know
to the table.
what?
And uh-huh.
Well, what I think is, I'm gonna put it C tier because I
You can C tier, okay.
I fuck with the antagonist really much. The guy is very charismatic and he
Okay.
made the movie for me. But instead of, because we're looking at the movie as a whole, right? I feel like it really lets down.
Yeah.
The movie has really good messaging and just that the execution was not good.
Is that so?
I
Okay.
I believe the
Okay.
execution was not good because if you look at the fact that there's a secondary villain when your first villain is really much all you needed. Um, your first villain also,
Bruh,
he didn't
true.
have superpowers. It was just a normal guy who managed to somehow
Bruh.
conquer the affections of other people, you know.
Exactly. You know?
But I feel like execution
That's
wise is not
beautiful.
good.
But like yeah,
So like, I feel like it's less than B tier because B, I feel like it's less than B tier. B tier.
beer tier. Just put like probably like a jug over there and just say, hey man, this is just your average like Joe. And then like A tier is like wine. Then like
Oh
S
shit!
tier is like XXX Malta some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then like is like, I don't know, like root beer, and then like D is like piss or something. Like that would make so much sense actually. That would make so much sense. You should so do that. You should so do
Actually,
that.
yeah,
Sure.
sure. You're not just saying
Okay.
that.
I'm not just saying that. I would agree with you and say C tier because
C
it's not
tier.
even as memorable, to be honest.
Exactly.
But it had some elements that could have taken it to B tier for sure.
Yeah, that were really good. I agree with that point. Next up is
Mm.
Justice League, the 2020 version. I don't know if it's 2020 or 2021, where Zack Snyder.
Mm.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I have even the cut.
The 4 hour one.
I hope that's the one that I watched. Shit, nigga. I hope that's the one. I hope that's the one. Because the thing is, like, I mean, at the end of the day, they had so many elements, and I feel like that's part of why I did not like the Justice League. It's like, okay, we tried to do something, we
Okay.
failed. Let's try again,
Huh.
and like both the movies were long as fuck, bro. Both like they were very long. They were very long. You're not supposed to feel the duration of a movie. You have to experience a movie. You know what I
Okay.
mean? You have to be in it.
Yeah.
And it's like your daily life.
Yeah.
Justice League did not do that. For a lot of reasons. It was not like it wasn't relatable for a lot of things. There were some cool fight scenes for
Yeah.
show, and that's why we were there. And I guess it introduced a few new stuff. Like it really brought in like maybe Flashpoint in a small sense.
Huh.
It also brought up what's this motherfucker? Yeah, I think it spoke true to what I talked about in like Man of Steel. We're talking about interstellar level.
Yeah.
So in that regard, that was kind of hard. But then outside of that, it got to the point where it was like you're not giving me something, you're showing me.
Okay.
Yeah, I would even say C tier.
C
I would
tier.
even say C tier, man.
I
Like
I have to disagree.
C tier.
I think
Okay.
Justice League, compared to like the 2017 version, this version is very much the more improved one. I believe
Okay.
that I
Okay. No, like fight me. I actually want you to fight me. Like, bro, like tell me why I should even give a fuck. Like, tell me why I should give a fuck. Like,
do
why?
you know
Like, let's say I'm a person who's not even watched Justice League. Why should I watch this movie, man? Like,
do you know why I think the reason why I like the film is circumstances involved in the film. I don't think the film is particularly that good. I don't think it's S tier, right? But the fact that the
okay,
guy as a director managed to pull off, the fans as well managed to come together and make this possible is like really good. The fact that the director managed to put his vision into life is a good thing, right? But as a
okay,
superhero
okay.
film, like if I was to compare it to like Infinity War or Endgame, I don't think it comes anywhere close. And as a
Not
film,
even, not
going
even.
exactly, so going into characters wise, I do believe um the point where if you go from one movie to the next movie where Superman died in your previous
Okay.
movie and you don't give it
Mm-hmm.
time to like marinate, right? So if you look at things,
Yeah,
Superman
yeah.
died in like BVS, and then next up is Justice League, and he's coming back, and he's put as the villain
Mm.
when him as a character he's never been that heroic. So I don't see
True,
it as
true.
that lowers the quality for it, but execution wise, it
Mm-hmm.
looks really good. Music is very good, and
Okay.
I just don't fuck with the characterization of the film. So it's
Mm-hmm.
conflicting.
Characterization of the film. Could you
Yeah,
get into that? I don't get it.
it's like okay. Basically, what I'm saying it's conflicting for me, right? I want you to give me an answer. Should I base this off of the circumstances, or should I base this off of the characters within the film? How should I tier it?
Okay, yeah, go for the characters in the film because you did say characterization, and I wanted to see like what's your take on that.
Okay. I believe characterization is non-existent because you have Batman. doing stuff which I believe Batman would not be doing. The fact that
Okay.
Superman comes back to life and he's evil in the, you remember that scene at the graveyard item? Superman comes back to life.
Thing is,
Huh? Speak. Say.
what I was gonna say is like I feel like that was okay.
It was.
I think like okay, they should have no, hear me out, hear me out. They should have marinated Superman's death.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't create a messiah in one day. You need 3 days to
Exactly.
create a messiah. You know what I mean? So they should have waited for the Superman, right?
Huh?
But for him to come back and be the villain, I feel like that was beautiful. The reason why is that if you look at again, Man of Steel, it sets the perfect tone. This is a guy who's trying to do what's right, but reality is grander than even Superman. In every other Superman, Superman is a literal god. When he comes into the picture, he changes everything and he brings everything back to correct. This Superman is like, bruh, nah, life hot harder. Life's tough. I can't manage on my own, you know. And and when he comes back and he's like a villain, I fucks with that because I feel like it also plays into the flashpoint that was happening yana yana with
Yeah.
Batman and stuff like that. Because Flashpoint is about what? What's this thing? Injustice. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And Batman is truly a dictator. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that's like a perfect story arc to go from a guy who is a god and yet cannot change his reality, was literally killed, was brought back, and even in him being brought back, he couldn't save Lois.
Do you
And
know?
then he's just like, nah, fuck this.
Do you know?
I'm a try and take control of the situation. You know what I
Do you know
mean?
what my problem is? My problem is that they're waffling it. They're not committing to it. So, you have a scene where he comes back to life in the film.
True.
You have a scene where he comes back to life and he's evil, but at the end of the film, he's okay. You know, he's back to being a good guy. But
Bruh,
flash forward,
my
no,
guy.
he ends up being a bad guy again. That's like you're not committing to the fact that you either want to make him a villain or you don't. So if you're gonna kill him, then bring him back as a villain. Why not start from there?
Exactly, exactly. And that's what I'm trying to say. That's why I really, really felt like there was something boiling with DC Universe. They really had something going. The painful part is that they just kept wasting bullets trying to pander
Facts.
to the wider audience. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Because it was at the time where Marvel was at the peak of their career. Everybody was talking Marvel. Everybody was jizzing Marvel. And it was just, they're like, look, we need to make money. Like, bruh, we need to make money, and the only way we can make money is by making people laugh. So
Facts.
they ended up changing characters that could have just been a lot more serious. You know what I mean? Because like Marvel is about a joke reality where anything can really be possible. Plot armor is a real thing,
Yeah.
and the only people who truly die is when the entire universe is at stake. Think about it. The
Exactly.
only person who actually died was Iron Man, and that's when Thanos had to come in twice, not
Yeah.
once, nigga, twice. This nigga had the ability to end the universe with the snap of his finger, and only on the second time did people like truly die. Not to like
Exactly.
what's this thing talk down about the game. I'm just talking about the overall arc of things. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And DC was supposed to be like, look, we all know what superheroes are capable of, but at the end of the day, we idealize them, we glorify them, we romanticize them. You know, here, let's put them in situations that are much more closer to our reality. How you gonna deal with systemic racism? How you
Exactly.
gonna deal with poverty? How are you gonna deal with? I don't know what Wonder Woman was trying to do. I think it was talking about like women deprivation or segregation or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did a good job about that, but yeah, like let's talk about the foster system. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
nice,
Shazam could have
nice.
taken that a lot more seriously, and I mean, I understand that they needed to make it like a joke film, and fine, a comedy film, fine. They
Yeah.
could have taken it a little bit more seriously. That's what DC was supposed to be. It
Oh,
had so much ammo, so much potential, and then each movie, what does
wasted.
it do? It was to execute. Wasted, bro.
Wasted. So I
My
agree with you.
guy.
I agree with you. So where should we rank it now? I feel like it's a B T. Fucking hell, B tier. I feel like it falls on B.
BT. Now I feel like you should put like an ET head, a B, and then like maybe one you put like and then what's a B tier, an A tier alien? Maybe we can have like Alien X,
Alien
and then like
X.
the top one will probably have like Goku or something like S
Oh,
tier. Like we're really ranking aliens or some shit. I don't know. I don't think it's B tier.
where would you put it?
I'm sorry, bro. It's still C to me. It's still
C.
C tier for me, bro.
Okay.
It's still C tier
I
because
concede. I
what it's
concede
trying
with
to
you.
do, yeah, what it's trying to do and what it actually did are two different things.
Okay.
It was supposed to be an S tier, or at least an A tier, like Avengers One. You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody loved Avengers. It did what it was supposed to do. It was like, okay, everybody has that all their origin stories. Let's bring them together.
Huh.
Justice League was supposed to do that. Barely did that shit,
It
bro.
barely did
So
that.
C tier, bro.
C tier. So
Yeah, man.
next up is Suicide Squad. You're saying the part two.
I only watched the first one.
Okay. Since
I didn't even watch the second one. You're gonna have to tell me how it was.
you haven't seen it, I believe it's perfect.
Jesus, what?
You haven't seen it. That's on you,
Get
bro.
the
This
fuck
is an
out.
S tier film, bro.
Nah, nigga. S tier, bruh. Bruh, I'm sorry, bro. I'm
I
sorry,
no, but
bro.
I
Like,
swear to you,
if we
bro.
talking, ah,
I
okay, tell
swear.
me why.
Um,
How?
the film is very funny. It's very, but not at the point of like,
That's all it
not
takes.
not to a point of like distractingly funny. It's not Thor: Love and Thunder. It's not
Okay,
Thor: Ragnarok. It's
okay,
it's very much how do I explain this? It's very much it knows when to stop and it knows how to
okay.
keep going
Good
basically.
pacing.
Yes. Also the
Okay.
characters are very imaginative, it's very colorful, it's very entertaining. So I that's why I personally I would put it on S tier.
The thing is, the only reason why I'm fighting you is that I mean, obviously, I haven't watched the film and all, but
Huh.
for me, an S tier is a timeless like
That's
movie.
bro,
You
this
know,
movie is
it's a
godly.
pivotal movie. Nah, bro,
Also,
it's gotta change the game, or at least it's gotta be like uh uh a milestone
it
for the
is.
industry
That's the
as
thing.
a
It
whole.
is, bro. Do you know?
Nah.
Do you know how big this film is? This movie came out, and
Okay.
the people behind the studio saw this, and they were like, "We're gonna make the guy who directed this the head of
Uh-huh.
our up and coming new DC franchise, bro."
Okay.
Yeah, the James.
Okay. All right.
So it's at a point where it very much doesn't shy away from its comic book origins, where you can easily see stuff
Okay.
from the comic book have made it onto the screen. You have weird characters like
Okay.
Polka Dot Man, a shark guy, and
Mm-hmm.
um, Peacemaker. Characters
That's
who
crazy.
you would never be put in like a mainstream superhero film. This guy managed to do that and make
Uh-huh.
it come out as good.
Holy shit. Okay, and like, will these guys continue to play a pivotal role, or
Unfortunately,
what was their?
unfortunately
Uh,
no. Unfortunately no, because like the universe they're
oh, it's because
restarting.
they scrapped it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, all right, then I'll
So
take your word, nigga.
S tier.
It's your channel, shit.
Peacemaker.
All right, bet. I'm not
Have you seen? You haven't.
Peacemaker. I also haven't watched that one.
You also haven't
I
watched
actually
it.
haven't seen that one either, bro. Like, I haven't watched it yet.
I'd put it on A tier. Black Adam. Okay,
Okay,
let's
why?
skip Black Adam first. What
Okay, okay.
what have you seen?
Black Adam.
No. Wait, let's go to BVS. Have you seen BVS?
I bet. Like, obviously, I've seen BVS. Let's go into the meat of this shit, bro. Like, let's start arguing for real now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. BVS. Okay. Shit, nigga. Okay. The thing is, I'm trying to get the perspective of somebody who doesn't know anything about comic books, who hasn't watched a single animated show or a movie.
Okay.
I would put it somewhere D tier or something like that. Cause like I'd be so confused
Facts.
as a person.
Facts.
Like what the fuck was going on?
Facts.
The
Hey,
arc was going all over the place.
but you're harsh,
You know what
bro.
I mean?
D.
But then, okay, that's what I'm trying to say. No, I'm saying from a perspective of somebody who knows nothing about comic books, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And then I'm coming inside as a person who does, and I'm still saying somewhere around like maybe C at most.
Hmm.
Because, like, look at this, man. I love the Lex Luthor concept. They didn't make him bold to start with.
Hmm.
And I think they borrowed a lot from Now You See Me, where you have this intellectual genius who's like ecstatic, but he's not okay, he's in your face about it, but he's not charismatic about it. Let me say, because most of
Hmm.
the time you have an either completely egoistic, uncharismatic, to the book, asshole intellectual, or you have
Hmm.
a completely charismatic asshole intellectual. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Who's not to the book, and he was kind of like a spice in between. He was more political, so I liked that about Lex Luthor.
The
I
fact.
hope that the film would be a lot more about him because he had a lot more to offer to the film.
Okay,
Because
but
outside of that, Batman was emotional. Like, so nigga says his mom's name. Like, my guy,
save Martha.
what does that change? Bruh, it's like, look, this is a guy that he saw level an entire city with his own eyes.
Yeah.
He's seeing literal millions of people dying. And then he's just there like, nope, nah, I gotta get better. And he literally starts spending the next few years just doing a whole what's the word I'm looking for? Damn, Rocky monologue type of thingy, just
Hmm.
getting better, just so he can beat this one motherfucker because he's
Exactly.
killed too many people because he's too powerful. Then
Exactly.
when you're just about to kill him, you're like, ah,
Where's the
okay.
commitment?
Dude, no, because like even if you say, oh no, Batman realized that he's a good guy in the end. Look, we all realize that he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Okay? If it wasn't for him, there would be no planet. He
Exactly.
literally saved the planet. The only problem is it came at the cost of everybody's lives or a lot of people's lives. The
Hmm.
reason why you started getting strong is not because he's good, but because he's
You-
too powerful. You
exactly.
became his kryptonite exactly for that reason. Now you got to that last minute and you're realizing, okay, he's no longer as powerful, but I still need to get him out because there's nobody else who can do it but me.
Mm.
Maybe that's the reasoning. Shit, maybe that's actually the reasoning.
Nah,
Because he
bro.
sees him in his weakest form, he's like,
The thing is that they don't
still,
communicate
bitch.
that. They don't show that no, because I beat you, that's the reason why I pity you now. It's a thing of like
True, I'm figuring it out years after. You're right, actually.
no. I'm saying it's not. I'm saying they're waffling because it's a thing
Uh
of
huh.
the guy just says I have a mom, and then you're like, oh shit, I fucked up. You have a mom.
Bruh. Okay, but then actually you're absolutely correct. Like they took like we're having this discussion years after, and now we're
Hmm.
basically coming up with excuses for them
For
to
the
say, "Oh,
film,
hey, this is why Batman acted the way he did." But really, that should have been apparent at the end of the film. Hell,
exactly.
all he needed was one line. We all know that Batman has a contingency for everybody. So
Hmm.
that's all they needed to say at the end of the film. I'm Batman. I have a contingency for everybody. Now I just need to create a contingency for me. That's it. And then
Hmm.
Justice League starts. Finish, boom, done. Why are we talking?
Why?
Ah,
Exactly. Why?
I'm sorry, man. Put that shit in C tier, D tier, somewhere in that bitch, bro. I don't know, man. D tier, bro. Waste my fucking time,
Oh
bro.
yeah,
That's
bruh.
Disney, bro.
That's
Goddamn,
it's fucking embarrassing, bro.
my guy. Such
uh,
wasted bullets. It had so much potential. I was so excited about it, actually.
oh shit. Actually, I think this is the Ultimate Edition. I've
What
not
next?
seen the Ultimate Edition.
Why
Um,
bother? I
the first Wonder
mean,
Woman.
the first Wonder Woman. I think it was a good origin story.
Huh.
It was a good origin story. Um, I have a fascination. Everybody does, honestly, but I have a fascination over like the Greek gods,
Yeah.
and I feel like they could have fleshed that out a little bit more.
Okay.
But then I also understand why they have their reservations because everybody knows the Greek gods. If you play too strongly into it, you'll have problems. That's
Okay.
where I'm coming from. I really felt like I wanted her to. I really hope that they will flesh out the Greek gods a little bit more on that one. But yeah, I think it did a really good job because also the theme was that the gods don't play a role in the minds of humans. They can control minds of humans if forced to be, but at the end of the day, human beings are terrible people.
Yeah.
That's why they go to war. Like that was basically part one, and I was like, okay, I can fuck with that, bro. Like, yeah, that's a good thematic,
Hmm.
and I feel like it really added to the DCU the way the director wanted it. Like, it
Yeah.
actually would be a very good addition to something that follows after Man of Steel. So yeah,
Yeah.
I would say it was a good origin story. I could even say A tier somewhere there.
A tier.
I'm tempted to say B tier because yeah, like I'm
Like,
ranking it almost as if I'm comparing it to other superhero films, if you see where I'm coming from.
yeah.
But if I was gonna like rank it with all movies of all time, it would be B tier, maybe C. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
But I think it's a good A tier for just what we're working with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people usually bring up the issue of like they waffle the ending of like they had a really good strong argument of people are naturalistically evil. So just by defeating a
Yeah.
god, you're not gonna
What's the
stop the
problem?
war.
Hmm.
But they end up
And I was
going
just
back
like,
on
that
that.
makes sense.
But they end up going back on that and end up being, oh no, it was all Ares'
Like,
fault. If we kill Ares, the war will stop. How do you feel about that?
I forgot about that. In my mind, I only maybe it was selective remembering actually. I
Huh?
think the reason why I even put it in AT is because of the fact that human beings are trash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a good
For
argument to
them to
make.
pin it to that's all they needed to do. For them to now go back on their word and say, "Oh no, all we need to do is kill Ares." That's terrible. It's like
Yeah.
you created the entire film just to build up to that message, only for you to like shoot yourself in the foot.
Exactly,
Like,
bro.
bruh, what are you doing?
It's-
Yeah, no,
but
maybe it should be B tier.
I don't know. Also, I think it's either
Maybe it should be.
A tier or or B tier. Fucking hell.
I'm starting to think that maybe there's just too many cooks spoiling the broth up there in DCU headquarters. Like there'll be some guy who'll be like, "Yeah, this is how we're going. This is how we're gonna do it."
Yeah.
Then people come in and then they just fuck it up.
They're like,
It's like,
no,
damn it.
not
Okay, fine. I
today,
have to agree,
boss.
bruh. And I feel like it's so evident what happened with Justice League. You start out with a movie. This is the way we want it. And then all of a sudden you hear, oh no, this is not actually how we wanted it.
Yeah, yeah.
The director had his own vision. He just fucked it up,
They just fuck it up
So now I'm
exactly.
even afraid to say, okay, fine, bruh, you're bringing in a new director, but clearly you're showing that the director has no say or
Mm.
no final say in how these go about. So
Exactly.
you're gonna bring up a new pot of mess, and it's either they align with exactly what it is that you want to do,
Yeah.
or you're gonna have the same problem as before.
It's
It's
gonna
gonna always
turn out
split
the
ends
same way. Exactly. If you don't learn your
exactly the same way,
lesson,
bro.
if you don't learn your lesson, then same thing is gonna keep repeating.
Exactly, bruh, bruh, bruh.
Coming up
I was next,
next,
boss.
let's say uh Aquaman.
Aquaman,
The
hated
first
it.
bro.
Shit,
Thank you, dog. I thought you were gonna say you loved it.
I hated it, bro. I hated it because, like, bro, hell no. Like, look at this. Aquaman is basically like Namor
Hmm.
or what's this other guy? Iceman. Iceman from X-Men.
Okay.
These three water people are omega level individuals. They're world breaking individuals.
Exactly.
We're talking about the fucking king of the seven seas. Earth is not called the green globe. It's called the blue globe for a reason. We call it Earth because we
Facts.
stand
Facts.
on the earth, and that's what's important to us. But the majority of Earth is literally water, bro.
Hmm.
It's 70%, bro. We're talking about the hardest motherfucker. If we're really talking rankings, it should be Superman, Aquaman paired with Wonder Woman, and then everybody
Hmm.
else. And
Hmm.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired of DCU making a joke of one of the most powerfulest individuals
Bruh.
in the whole universe. Like in the comics, okay, fine, they make him like a hard ass motherfucker, like they're supposed to, you know what I mean? But like in any animated film, in the TV shows, in like any shorts, like bruh, he's a joke, and I'm like, bruh, this nigga
Ish.
too hard. He's too hard.
They don't give him the
So
respect
they
that
did
he's
a
due.
whole. They don't give him the respect he deserves. Like in my mind, I think they did something good. They made him a pirate looking ass motherfucker.
Yeah.
To me, I felt that that was hard.
With
Yeah,
the
he was
with
a
the hook
pirate. Like
item.
pirates, they go on this, huh?
With the hook.
Yeah, like the hood, with the skull and crossbones type of motherfucking shit, bro. Like
Yeah.
I feel like that was the character that they were kind of leaning on. Some drunkard guy who would smash any broad he sees,
Yeah.
beats every guy, is in bar fights and shit like that. For me, I feel like that's hard. If you take a piece of One Piece and that element and then put it in Aquaman,
Yeah.
I would fuck with that heavy and say, okay, fine, I'm gonna fuck around a lot, but you don't want me to put you in your crosshairs. Do you see where I'm
Mm-hmm.
coming from?
Yeah, you don't
Like,
want me to be serious.
you see where I'm coming from? Like, Spider-Man, hey, Spider-Man fucks around a lot, but at the end of the day, he's harmless unless you're a villain.
Uh,
Unless you've killed somebody or you're trying to kill somebody,
uh,
Spider-Man is harmless. Even while he's beating you up, he's gonna be making jokes.
yeah.
Iron Man is a lot more serious than Spider-Man, but like he's having fun at the end of the day. He's too good. He's too good. Like he doesn't need it. He's flexing the entire time. Iron Man is just a guy who's just flexing about how powerful he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then what's this thing? What's this thing? Arthur should have been on the other end of the spectrum. He's having fun, but he's kind of having the fun. Like I put an extra tattoo on my arm the other day. Oh hey, I went through our fights this morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be dangerous. You know what I mean? You should be scared of the guy. Man's is huge. He's
Ish, bro.
huge. You know what I mean? Bro, that's what Aquaman should have been about. He should have been the guy that nobody fucks with, and the only person who knows how strong he is the gods. Because even he doesn't know how strong he is.
Uh-huh.
Every time he's pushed, like every time he's aggravated, he'll jump at the opportunity and do even more. Kinda, he should have picked a fight with Batman. I would have loved to see the fuck out of that
Really?
just to like fuck with him, you know what I mean? Yeah, because like Iron Man's this stuck up individual with his nerdy glasses and like I'm gonna try and save the world. Let me get like I got prepared. I'm prepared for everything. He's a total nerd, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Then Arthur comes in and booties the fuck out of him, and then Superman would probably step in. Okay, maybe not Superman because that's not what they're going to the film. What's this thing? Wonder Woman would probably step in as a mediator and say, "Oh, hey guys, chill.
Calm down.
Do you
Yeah.
see where I'm coming from?"
I think for me here
You
they
see, and like Wonder Woman,
for me they
uh
made him a typical surfer bro type thing. Like, yo, bro, let's go surf some.
exactly. Ain't nobody give a fuck about no surf, bro, niggas. Like a
Exactly,
tan's
dog.
not gonna do shit, bro. A tattoo is where it's at. So
Mm.
they really wasted this film because character-wise, they flopped. And the special effects, there's not much what you can do because water is expensive.
Hmm.
Drawing water in anime, moving water in live action, all that shit's expensive. So
Yeah.
I'm not even expecting a lot from the CGI. They really should have focused on the character. Nobody knows Aquaman outside of the comic book universe or people who know the comic books like that.
Hmm.
They should have made him a badass.
I agree
But
with you.
no.
The there's this
Details.
one spot that rubbed me off the wrong way where they were fighting. I think like first time Aquaman came down to the Atlantis, then he was fighting his brother.
Okay.
That fight scene where
Yeah, yeah.
basically if you break my trident, you've defeated me. I didn't understand that.
I don't even know, man. I didn't actually think too much about it. I thought it was just like a lot of like the Wakanda fight,
Yeah.
like it's culture.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I don't need to kill you, or you know what I mean. Like it's just how I show my because like your trident's supposed to represent your power, your will. You
Okay.
put everything into it, and it's both your shield and your spear. If you
Mm-hmm.
break that, then you've lost the fight. There's no. That's what I thought about. I was not like, okay, it's not too big of a deal.
And
I
then
get where you're
what do you
coming
think
from, but
about like because Atlantis is more of like a Greek mythology type of place, and
Yeah,
I think it was better represented in what's the name of that animated TV show?
Wonder Woman.
No, 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 no.
Uh,
Fucking hell.
TV show or movie?
TV show with Young Justice, and there was an animated Aquaman
Okay.
movie where they lean hard into like the Greek.
Shit, mythology and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And I feel like that's another wasted potential if you think about it, because we have both Aquaman and Wonder Woman playing heavy on Greek mythology.
yeah.
They could have, like, see, a lot of like the character development could have truly happened in Aquaman or in Wonder Woman or vice versa, because
Hmm.
they borrow a lot from each other. So you don't have to
Exactly.
waste too much time saying the same thing. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? You
Hmm.
could really gone deep into one and fleshed out something, and then left a lot of space for character development. And then any holes in the theories that we have about the Greek mythology building can come into what's his thing, Aquaman. Because think about this: our whole argument for Man of Steel and Wonder Woman is that reality is hard.
Hmm.
You know, the fact of the matter is reality is really difficult. So how do you put in gods into reality? Let's start there. Like,
Yeah.
how do gods exist? You can't just say alien. You can't just say aliens and then expect everybody to like put our
Oh,
hands
okay.
up and say, okay, that makes perfect sense. You
Yeah.
know, they could have really fleshed out. They could have done whatever they wanted, to be honest, with the Greek mythology, and it would have made sense, because at that point, the argument would be reality is difficult.
Hmm.
Reality is more than it seems.
Did you see that they're
Yeah, man.
putting out part two?
Of
Like part
Aquaman.
Yeah, part two is coming out.
I will watch. Yeah, I will watch it because I ain't got nothing better to watch right now. Like, fuck it, you know.
Fuck it, might
But
as
why
well.
not? Waste my time. I got time to waste. I'll watch it. I'll
No,
watch
but
it. But I don't know. Uh huh.
like you have to commend the fact that the first one actually made like a lot of money.
Fair. Fair. I feel like Manta's actually hard as hell. Shit. Okay, I'm looking forward to the motherfucker.
Dog,
Um,
I believe so as
like,
well. Like,
I still.
yeah, yeah, you were saying.
Uh huh. Yeah, I feel like in my mind, like, a lot of these films at the end of the day do not exist as a standalone. That's not their purpose.
Huh.
So a lot of the excuses we give about certain qualities that they have, either if it's dialogue or plot or the arc of it all, the thematics, all of those things, whenever there's like a fault in those movies, we all say, oh no, it's part of an arc. We'll cover our bases in other ways. And I
Huh.
feel like that's also part of the reason why MCU has been successful. Whenever there was a fault, whenever there was like a hole in a theory or in like some way or somehow, it will always be covered by another following film or a
Hmm.
previous film. And you
Hmm.
basically spread responsibility and you also share in each other's victory. Do you see where I'm coming
Oh,
from?
okay, yeah.
So looking at Aquaman as a standalone movie, yeah, looking at Aquaman as a standalone movie is basically impossible. And so when I look at the filth around it also, it's like, bruh, you literally have nothing to give me. So it's so difficult for me to like say this is a good new movie, this is a bad movie without borrowing from what's around it. And so far, all Aquaman is almost disconnected
It
for
is.
everything or with everything else from
It
my
is
perspective.
honestly.
And so I want to see how, yeah, it is. It's very disconnected. I don't know if it's on purpose because they know it made money, and the more disconnected it was, the better it will be for sales.
Hmm.
But I feel like all of the films were also quite disconnected. None of the universes really played together the way they
Together.
were supposed to. And it was the job of Batman to bring them all together. The
Yeah.
same way Iron Man brought all of
The
these
Avengers together.
together. Yeah, Batman didn't do that. And you're not gonna see Batman in Manta. You won't
Yeah,
see
you're
him. So it's
not.
just like an origin story part two. It will
Do
really
you know
make
what I
sense.
actually believe? I think,
Hell, we don't even know why.
yeah, I think like, to be fair, Zack Snyder should have been given the opportunity to make the 5 films that he wanted to make, which were all about the Justice League. So you have Man of Steel, and then Batman vs
Okay.
Superman, and then 3 Justice League movies. I believe that should have been the
Okay.
entirety of the DCEU, where it's just those 5 films. He tells a story, and then by the 5th film, he's done. The universe should have remained those 5 films. You shouldn't have added extra spices on top, the Suicide Squads and everything, because it just complicated everything.
Mm, okay. But those same 5 films didn't
Hmm.
have too much to offer. Like, okay, the first 2 films were good enough settings.
Hmm.
Then it was for us, or for him to like prove to us where he was going with that.
Yeah.
And the 3 films after, I don't know, what were the 3 films that he was going to choose?
Um, because he made Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman. Then he was going to make
Yeah.
three more Justice League films where that whole
Uh-huh.
futuristic, imperialistic Superman item, the Flashpoint item.
Okay. Okay. That would have made sense,
Yeah.
actually. That would have made so much sense. That would actually made so much sense. But yeah, man.
So where do
Aquaman
we
either
place
A
Aquaman?
tier
D
or
tier.
C tier. D
D
tier,
tier.
nigga. D tier, nigga. That's piss, nigga.
Be-
What's the worst alien? Like I have to figure it out now. Like shit. Like what's the most like? Oh shit. I know he's not an alien, but you know Jerry. Jerry when he's in like the worm version, like the worm version
no.
from the marriage consultancy. Yeah, 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 yeah.
And
That's D tier, nigga. Yes, sir.
actually, I can see it now.
My guy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I
um,
think Morty would be S tier and I would be A tier. But okay, continue, continue.
where do we place Shazam?
Shazam. I enjoyed the film
Mm-hmm.
as a standalone film. I
Oh,
would watch the movie just for the sake of watching the movie. It
okay.
was, yeah, it was completely disconnected from the rest of the DCU universe. Let's just be honest, bro. Like, hell, they can sneak it into like the new revamped version,
Huh.
and nobody would notice the difference, man. Literally, nobody would notice. Like, bro, my guy, literally nobody would notice the difference. I think it said, okay, we're taking ourselves too seriously. Let's try something new. Let's have fun a little bit. And yeah, I think they did something of that sort, actually.
I
I
believe
wouldn't watch it
also
again, that's for sure. I
it
wouldn't watch
has
it
like a
again,
lot of
but like,
heart. Like the story they were telling is really like
it has heart.
genuine. Yeah. So
Yeah, it
where do you
has
place
heart.
it?
So it's not an A tier, obviously. It's just
B
it's an average movie. It's a
B
good average movie.
B tier.
B plus, you know what I mean?
B plus.
Yeah, B plus.
Um.
Yeah, like you try. It is good though.
What about Shazam Part Two?
Shit, I feel like I know I watched Shazam Part 2,
Huh?
but maybe it was so forgettable that I don't even know what was going on. Or I did like, cause like I remember the biggest part of why I wanted to watch Shazam Part 2 is because the bro was so sexy in the trailer. I would just did that shit, bro. Like, come on, man. You know what you're doing. I know it was fan service, but I'm a red-blooded human being. I don't know what you want from me, man. So I was there for the titties, bro. I was there. She fine as hell. So I was like, I bet I'm gonna watch this movie. Cool.
Hey, she's godly, bro.
Then, thanks, bro, my guy. And then I can't even remember anything past the first scene. All I remember is that he was trying to bring the family together.
Yeah.
And then I don't even know if I finished the movie after that. Like, who was the antagonist? And like, who the
Them
fuck was the antagonist, bro?
them 3 older women.
Shit, I didn't even finish the movie, bro.
Oh,
Now I remember. I got all the way up to the point where they broke the staff and they beat that black nigga up, the wizard motherfucker. And I'm like, oh damn. And then I don't know if like I had something else to do or I was just so uninterested in the movie that I ended up like deleting it.
Yeah,
But
bro.
like,
Honestly, it wasn't good.
yeah, I don't know if I can speak to
It literally takes all the things good about the first movie and then it downplays them.
what.
Yeah, in my opinion, it just takes.
Ah, how did you
I would rate it a D.
a D all
Yeah,
the way down there? That's
yeah.
so
It's
sad,
not.
man.
Honestly, it's not that good.
So I basically did myself a service not even watching it, huh?
Yeah, you're not missing anything. It's a spec. Can I spoil? Can I spoil it for you?
Yeah, go crazy, bro. I don't even give a damn.
So there's a point where, you know, the typical hero sacrifice where, oh, something's happening.
Uh-huh.
The only way to do it is for me to die. They kill off the guy, and literally two
Okay,
minutes
yeah.
later, they bring him back to life.
Okay. How in the fuck though?
Exactly. It's
Power of friendship?
no, no. It's not. It's not
Power of
even.
friendship.
It's not
Okay.
power of friendship. It's a thing of they're like the only thing that can bring you back is if there's another god. I don't even fucking remember, bro. It's not worth it. It's
What
D
the
tier.
hell? And the
Suicide
thing is, I
Squad.
don't see why you need to kill him. Like, what would that achieve? Like, what
You
was the
don't need
point?
to.
Like, a story has to have a point. Why would you need to kill a character off in a story that's supposed to be about fun, about
Exactly.
happiness? I mean, maybe the family breaking up, maybe responsibility. Those are two themes that you can jump into. But if you kill him off, what are you trying to teach us? What are
GG.
you trying to say when you kill somebody off?
Exactly. And the thing is, I believe in the consequences, bro. If you're gonna kill off a character, make sure he stays dead by the end of your film. And your next three films, he should
Mm,
not come back to life.
absolutely, absolutely. Alright, wasn't it?
Suicide Squad, 2015, I think. Where do we place it?
The very first one,
The very first one.
I, the one with Will Smith, right?
Yeah.
Anything with Will Smith is all the way up. Anything with Will Smith is like all the way up.
Really?
Boy, bro. Like I don't even know, bro. Tell me one film which you hated where Will Smith was in. One film, literally one.
Um. Okay, no, there's
Fuck
not.
you, nigga.
But
You can't even figure it out.
this film is not good, bro. Like you have your super villain doing a weird dance in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like she doesn't even. You have miniature
Okay,
bad
look.
guys which are like disposable CGI versions. I don't know, bro. This
Okay,
film is either
I'm
a
not saying
C or
that.
a D.
I'm saying any movie. Okay, like I'm not saying Suicide Squad itself is good. I liked it, but I'll get back to that. I'm saying a movie with Will Smith trash? Hell no. Like if you look at just the Will Smith character in that movie.
Exactly.
No, because like at this point I'm trying to salvage the movie. I'm trying to like push it up in the tier a little bit. Tell me that Will Smith did something. He did something
He's
for
very.
the film. Please guys, let's allow.
His character is very charismatic, dog. He's very. I think Will Smith and Margaret Robbie.
Harley Quinn. I mean
Yeah,
sorry. Margaret Robbie. Yeah. They
but
saved that film. They saved that show for sure.
the question is
For
how
sure. And
much.
like in my true, true. In my mind, Deadshot is a no-name character, bro.
Oh
Like
yeah, facts.
I've seen him in this film and one other episode of an animated what's this thing show. Deadshot basically doesn't exist. But like we're talking about it now simply because of how that film kind of narrowed in on him and they
Yeah,
had something to say over there. So if we're just talking about pure editorial or story arc, what's this thing, or sorry, device utilization,
yeah.
they did good in those 2 degrees. And I was like, okay, bet I believe that shit. Everything else was just experimentation.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's what Suicide Squad was supposed to be. It's like, okay, we have this main arc of what we're trying to do, what we're trying to achieve, but we want to know how much we can get away with it. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
And I felt like that was what suicide was supposed to be about. It was an experiment.
Did
And yeah, it wasn't as executed or well received. And that's why we see it as an experiment. But I'm 100% sure that there's a lot of experiments that happened inside the MCU universe. But because they ironed it out so perfectly well with the rest of things,
yeah.
by sharing that responsibility, like I mentioned before, you can't tell for sure. Like
Mm-hmm.
the first Thor, the very first Thor was an experiment,
Yeah.
hands down. But we look back at it and say, okay, fine, we'll accept it. It's just the odd younger brother, the
Mm.
black sheep of the family. But that
Mm.
was an experiment right there, you know. And Suicide Squad, they just didn't gloss over the problems as effectively. And that's why we're sitting there thinking, okay, it's trash and it stay trash.
Yeah.
Instead of it being part of the family. There is no family between any of these guys. These guys just all hate each other. It's facts, bro. Like, they don't love each other, bro. Like,
So where
what
would
if
you place it?
some abusive uncle?
Some
Yeah,
abusive
C
uncle.
tier. C tier. One of them has to be like, which one's the uncle? Maybe it's totally BVS, bro. Yeah, BVS is so the uncle in this family, bro.
He's
Like,
the drunk uncle.
it's done some shit, bro, and we don't want to. Oh hell no! Like everybody hates him. Everybody hates him. Probably be reported. Like no, like bruh. Mm-mm. So yeah.
Black Adam. You
Yeah.
said you
What's
haven't
next?
watched Black Adam.
I haven't watched Black Adam. I haven't had was it the pleasure or the unfortunates? I haven't been fortunate enough to watch it. And
It's
you're already putting it C tier,
it's a
like
basic movie, honestly. There's nothing really wrong with it. There's nothing really good with it.
okay,
Yeah, so I'd put it
and
at C
like
tier.
The Rock,
The Rock is very
was he like a different person?
um.
Uh,
The thing is, he I believe he's good in the character. He did very good. It's just that he didn't want to play
okay,
the villainous aspects of the character. Because
okay.
Black Adam from the comics is fundamentally
So
a villain, right?
yeah, fair.
Yeah, for me, he played a more,
And
oh, look, I just killed that guy. Ha 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 ha. Not a very much, yo, I'm fucking, if you come anywhere near me, I will destroy you. I will break your legs. Then I'll kill you type of villain.
okay, oh, okay, okay. So he was not like all the way villain.
He was not
He was
all the
just a
way.
guy who didn't listen to rules. He doesn't
Yes.
conform to the rules of like
Yes.
society.
Exactly. It's very much a childish version of. So,
Do you
Justice
think they were
League.
afraid of like repeating?
I think they should have went hard. I think they should have went into the villain aspect more.
True, because like at the end of the day, his opponent is Shazam, who
Yeah.
is supposed to be this whole fun bundle of joy. Maybe that's hard to do. Spider-Man does it really well. There's a lot of characters out there who are trying to kill Peter Parker, like legitimately slit his throat. But he plays it off pretty well. And maybe they didn't believe that Shazam was going to be able to do it as effectively as Spider-Man. So they had to kind of nerf his villainy a little bit. Maybe I don't know. I
Yeah,
haven't watched the film.
the
I
way
don't
they
know.
do it is cookie cutter, so I wouldn't think you're wrong on that. It's very neutered down, so I believe maybe.
Okay.
Where would you put
What's
Justice
next?
League? Justice League 2017.
Damn. The only thing that saved the film was the fight scenes, I think.
Huh.
And maybe that final race between the Flash and Superman.
Oh,
Because
shit, yeah,
like
actually.
I could go on. Yeah, I could go on and on and on about what's wrong with the film, about how when the lasso of truth touched Batman, he was talking about some dumb shit. Batman was also on some weird motherfucking like bro.
Say
Like
less, bro.
I
Hey.
could go on and on, bro. Like just put it in D tier and just like and just like turn like
Okay,
bruh.
so
What's next?
Birds of Prey. Have you seen Birds of Prey?
I have not seen Birds of Prey.
You have not seen Birds of Prey.
What's it about? I don't
I
even know what it's about. That's DCU?
Yeah, it's DCU, bro. It's the Harley Quinn item.
What? Oh, people said that it was good, but like I was like, okay, I'm gonna get to that, and it's just been on my list. I guess
You
shit, it's
haven't
not
seen
even
it.
been on my list. Let me not lie. How was it? I haven't really
Uh,
seen it. I haven't.
it's cookie cutter. It's very
Cookie cutter.
it's oozing. I don't know if you've seen Barbie. Have you seen Barbie?
Oh, like I haven't seen Mommy yet. It's still on my list. It's
Okay.
like what femininity, superiority,
No, no, no.
misogyny
Not
type of like
not.
girl power type of shit.
There's a hint of that, but it's not egregious. It's not egregious.
Okay.
It's not
Okay.
like I'm choking you and
So
beating
what's
your
it
head
about?
over with like a sledgehammer. It's very much um
Uh-huh.
this girl steals a diamond and Harley Quinn has to protect her. A bunch of females come together to fight like a bad guy who's a man. I know how that sounds, but like it's not.
Who gives a fuck about that? No. Bruh, like, well, why is Harley Quinn protecting some girl with the diamond? Why not just take the diamond? Like,
Exactly, you know.
why?
Um so
No,
coming
seriously? Like, there's not even a reason in the film? That's
okay,
fucked
wait,
up.
no,
What the
no,
hell?
wait. There's a reason, but like what was the reason?
Okay.
I forget what the
You
reason
don't even
was.
remember. Holy shit.
It's very cookie cutter,
So
dog.
down. Bro, Harley Quinn's a villain. She
Harley
wants to
Quinn
make
is a
money.
villain.
And, okay, maybe her.
No,
Okay,
no.
like, okay, maybe her main priority is Joker. Okay, cool. If she's outside of the Joker, maybe this is like a perfect film to do that. And you're
Yes,
telling me that she's out here
actually,
protecting
that is actually
kids?
the item. Like she
The
joke.
point of the film.
Yeah, she got dumped by Joker and she's trying to find herself.
And she's protecting kids
Yeah.
who steal shit. I
I
don't
don't
even know if
know,
that makes
man.
sense,
Why?
bro. I'm not fighting you. I'm just disappointed. Like, I'm not even gonna watch this film now.
Hey.
I mean, damn.
So coming to the
Damn, bro.
man, the myth, the legend. I hope you've seen this film, bro. I
Uh,
really want to talk about this film. Have you seen it?
I pray to God I can't even see this shit.
No. You haven't seen The Flash.
That
You haven't seen The Flash.
I don't know. What is it called? I can't even see it like that. Like my oh, The Flash. She Negro. Yeah, I watched that
Oh
motherfucker.
shit.
Yeah,
Okay, let's
yeah,
go.
yeah. I have. Let's see. S tier, nigga. Slow
Yes.
down, bro.
Yes. S
Slow
tier, bro.
down. Felamente.
Despite this movie's
Felamente.
faults,
Yay, yay. What?
this film is very like despite the CGI. If you put that aside, if you put aside
Okay.
the comic book version of Flashpoint, if you put aside the animated version of
Okay.
Flashpoint, this version of Flashpoint is very much
My God.
good. It's good. I feel like it's good. I feel like it's S tier.
But it's not S tier good though. That's why I'm fighting you, bro. We had a whole conversation for like 3 days,
Yeah.
3 days nonstop, just
Oh shit.
tearing
Actually,
down the Flash.
no, no, no. But
Nigga, step that shit down. What the
nah,
fuck?
bro.
Bruh,
I will die on this hill.
no, we're fighting. We're fighting. Look, bro, look. Let's just talk about like the logic, okay?
Huh.
Flash is as a person. The story of Flash is basically how do we get away with bullshit? That's Flash's whole thing. That's his whole thing, bro. And the reason why he's so amazing is because everybody just buys into the bullshit.
Yes.
Mans runs really fast.
Yes.
That's why he can travel fucking time. Mans runs really fast. That's how he can pass through walls. Like you can literally come up with whatever the fuck you. His ability is running through walls. So the level of bullshit is already all the way to the max. And that's just the character. I'm not even talking about the movie. And then in the movie, they go in and some things just don't fucking add up. They don't add
No.
up how like you can kill the old version of the Flash, but like he be chilling until it's convenient. It doesn't make sense how. What was the other thing, bruh? Like there were so many reasons why I felt like it didn't make sense continually, right?
Huh?
But I'll have to admit, if I really look back at it, I remember more good than bad. Whenever we talk about DC universes,
Yeah.
I mean DC movies, we always remember the bad first, and then we probably like come up with excuses for the good. Flash, I actually did enjoy the movie. Fuck it,
Hmm.
you're right.
Hmm.
I did enjoy the movie because I loved how they played around with the old Flash. They don't usually do that.
Yeah.
And that was a new take. That was a new spin. And then they said, hold up, we're not done yet. How we look at how people look back in time, how people travel back in time, let's
Hmm.
spin that shit too, you know? We're
Yeah.
not just tearing a hole through the fabric of reality and we're just seeing a portal. They literally said, bro, space time is 3D, you know? So
Hmm.
you gotta have to play it 3D. So I
Hmm.
fucked with that too. Um, it showed a little bit about like Flash's weakness, how he needs food, like at the very
Yeah.
beginning. Like that's something that like a lot of people think that he's just gonna run like 10,000 kilometers because he's the Flash. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, man needs to eat. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
actually,
I
on that
liked
point,
how
on that point, there's a scene that pissed me off
yeah,
where he's
okay,
the aspect is he gets like a, I don't know if it was like a hot dog or something, right?
yeah, burrito. I think.
Yeah, he gets like a hot dog or something, and instead of eating it, then because he knows, like it shows on the clock, like yo, you're running out of energy, you need to eat. He gets a hot dog, and then instead
Uh
of
huh.
eating it, he's super fast. He can just eat it. He drops it or something to go save a person, to go to the hospital and save those kids.
True. True. In my okay, I can see where you got pissed off. I would excuse that on my end because I would think like maybe he just underestimated how serious the situation was. Because
Oh,
he was
okay.
even telling Batman, "Oh no, it's just an in and out type of thing." He was just like, "No, it's in and out. I'll be there in Gotham in just a sec. Give me a second,
Uh huh.
And then things just got out of hand.
Okay, okay.
That's why I kind of excuse that.
That's a
But
valid. That's valid.
yeah, I feel like yeah, like they they fleshed out the character a little bit
Hmm.
enough actually, and it wasn't from. I feel like the character was not the Flash was not about the Flash that we started out with. Flash
Mm-hmm.
was more about the one that he met in the past. I feel like
Okay.
the story was more about him than anybody else.
Then
Because
yeah.
yeah, we're in his universe, and yeah, we're not trying to go back to the Batman Gotham that we were talking about before. They really went into and said, "Hey, man, what if?" I feel like this is a good what if
What
film.
if yeah.
Marvel's what if, yeah, I think it was a good what if. Yeah, to say, okay, fine. Flash is not just a good guy because he's a good guy. The
Hmm.
biggest problem with the Flash is that he's basically be given godlike powers and he can do nothing to get the single thing he wants the most.
Hmm.
That's Flash's whole character. And if the timing was wrong by just a couple of years, hell, a couple of minutes, then the Flash that we all know and love would never have existed. He would have become
Exactly.
a villain. He would have destroyed the fabric of space time,
Hmm.
And if you tie that into something like Man of Steel, I would have accepted that. I would be like, bit, you know what I mean? So overly, I think it's A tier, but to say S tier,
I,
hell no.
for me,
That
the only fault
no,
that I have with this film is the fact that at the end the dog villain Flash guy, I don't know what his name is. He comes out of nowhere and is like,
yeah.
"Hey, I'm the true villain here." This guy kills himself. Like, oh shit, I'm dead. I would have loved it if,
Mm,
because they were building up that tension of like Barry's the younger Barry is starting to lose it. He's becoming more unhinged now because he keeps seeing
true.
death in front of his door no matter what
His
happens.
love of life.
Yeah, I would have loved it if
Yeah,
he turned on Barry and just they fought it out. But like, I don't know if he ends up dead, that's fine. But like, don't bring in a third version of the Flash and be like, oh, I was the one behind the
true.
curtain.
That was unnecessary,
That
actually.
was
That was
unnecessary, yeah.
absolutely
But otherwise, the
unnecessary.
film is fine.
Just that flash alone. Because, like, Yeah, because like if you think about it, the second Flash, right? Younger Flash. Let's just call him Young Flash right now, right? Young Flash was significantly more talented than older Flash. Think
Exactly.
about it. He already figured out phase transitioning. He already figured out lightning bolts. He's already running as fast as him. He was
Yeah.
already going back in time, and all of this is happening in the span of like a week because he
Exactly,
had such
bro.
a great teacher and he didn't have to figure out shit on his own, which means that if he really needed to throw hands, Maz would have thrown hands. And remember, he's from a different universe entirely. Like
Yeah.
like I feel like the science behind it was kind of like occultic. It was kind of like implied but not there. When you
Yeah.
change something in the past, you kind of make a new universe. You don't just make a new timeline. You kind of, in a sense, make a new universe. Because like even the Flash's ability, his lightning bolts were not the same. And you know what
Yeah.
I
They
mean?
were
Even
different.
how he interacted with people, so it was not the same. So, yeah, so it's not just a different timeline, it's almost a different universe, you saw. So you could almost experience him and see him as a different Flash entirely.
Yeah.
And it's almost like seeing Reverse Flash versus the Flash. They both have the same
Exactly.
abilities, but they're different affinities, the different propensities and like inclinations, just minor variations. But at the end of the day, that young Flash could have thrown hands for sure, bro. For real, bro.
He could have,
And
yeah.
it would have been a good fight. Like the Dark Flash was not even that much stronger than either of the Flashes. Like let's be honest.
Exactly.
Like
He
what
just
else
came
did he
in and
have?
just started talking, and then he's like, "Yo, you made
Bruh,
me." I'm like, "Okay, bruh, but we haven't seen you. We're
bruh,
not with you for the past fucking hour and a half of the film."
bruh, like you know what would have been hard? You know what would have been dope? If Young Flash and like Barry were fighting it out, right? And
Yeah.
as they're fighting it out, because they're moving at such fast speeds, each trying to be faster than the other, they'll be fucking up the timeline as they go along.
Yeah.
So when Flash first get pushed back to the previous world, it was because he got punched by a young Flash and then he bounced off himself or something like that, you know? And like
Doug.
there's just like a bunch of fucks out throughout all of these different universes. For me, that would be so hard. That would be so hard, bro. Because it's
Bruh.
like we're not just talking like inter what's the word I'm looking for? Time. What? Yeah, interchronological fight. We're talking interdimensional fights. We're talking about
Uh-huh.
a fight that spans different universes. And so those like those gang globes, you know, all those mini globes with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
different
yeah.
flashes and the different universes and the different Supermans and stuff like that. All those could have been ripple effects of the fight that he was having to
Right
say,
there and
hey
there, yeah.
man, I know you love your girl, but you can't save her. And I know I love my mom, but I can't save
But
her.
I can't
And so
save her.
Flash is just the older Flash telling himself that, yeah, and then it would become like a story about grief because that's what the Flash is about. It's about grief and coming to terms with it. That would have been hard. That would have been so hard.
Bruh,
But
ish.
instead, they had to bring that dark Flash motherfucker. Shit.
Ah,
Shit.
ish. It's fucking, ish, bro. It's
Yeah.
fucking disappointing, dog.
No, but then this is a conversation that I would love to have with like the next episode with the
Yeah,
whole what's this motherfucker American Psycho,
yeah.
because there are parallels that I actually like noted,
For
but
real.
I want to like really flesh them out in the conversation. Yeah, there are parallels. There are a little bit of parallels here. I mean, like let's be honest, they're two completely different films. I won't even lie to you and tell you that oh no, there's like a Flashpoint reference inside American Psycho. Really are as far away as of movies as they can be, but the themes and the philosophical takes that both the films employ, I feel like they're worth discussing in the same setting. I think there's
for,
something there to
for me,
talk
it was
about.
very confusing.
Yeah,
So,
yes.
anyway, bro, I appreciate the time given.
American Psycho. You finally watched?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it
uh,
yesterday.
Same.
Um,
Uh,
like I was saying, I
okay,
appreciate the
okay.
time
Yeah, I'm interested in
given,
the next conversation.
and so tomorrow, we're doing another episode with the other guys. So, thank you very much, dog.
Bit.
I'm gonna post this on my YouTube channel.
Pleasure being here.
I mean, bet, bro.
Yeah, subscribe and like, my guys. This is where it's at, bruh.
Man.